All right. Now that I totally just recorded a reaction to that and didn't record my screen at all, we can get into the next video that I wanted to watch. Um
Tells me
Netflix makes an incredibly stupid decision. I saw this one earlier and I was like, I want to watch the stream.
Mutahar, and I'm gonna bet my left nut today that there are more people sharing Netflix accounts than actual venereal diseases these days. And the reason I'm mentioning this is because if you're a family member or you're in a family and you have one streaming service, only one person is paying for it, okay? Streaming services
Absolutely.
get
Yeah,
shared
yeah.
around all the time. Netflix accounts, my family's only got one. That's mine. Disney Plus, my family's got none of that. HBO Max, I'm a Canadian. I don't get the luxury. Brazzers, me and my uncle share that. Ladies and gentlemen, families share all of their streaming services together. You will never find me a family where I swear to God, Netflix is shared or like everyone has their own individual Netflix account.
Yeah,
Unless that
there
family
might
is
be
super
like two
estranged,
or
then
three
things change around,
Netflixes,
okay?
like
But
an
of course,
entire
Netflix password cracking was
family.
something that was going to come in. It was basically announced like a year ago. Netflix was going to jump in, and today they've announced some of the dumbest changes that they're going to do with this password sharing.
Goodness.
Now, to understand, I am one of those individuals that understands why password sharing is a problem. If 90 users
Yeah.
are using one Netflix account, that's a lot of money Netflix is losing. Now, of
Hmm.
course, it's because of these changes and how Netflix is going to adopt them that I've literally made my own virtual private network off of virtual machines in my server downstairs, just so that I can actually use my Netflix account from various parts of the world, and Netflix will none be the wiser that I have left my house, okay? I'm not touching grass. Every device that I have is connected through my home network. I'm not saying
That's
that anybody
awesome.
does that. Never share your account on Netflix. That is a no-no. That is haram. Don't do that. That goes against Netflix's rules, and I can never promote any form of disingenuous computer usage on my channel or ever. That is actually something I come from the heart. But of course, I wanted to look into this real quick, okay? So Netflix's, information, again, I use the Wayback Machine because they've been changing some things around.
I love how Mutahar always goes in detail with exactly what's going on and how it's going to affect everything. The point where he's just always on the Wayback Machine. Get exact and really it's really cool. It makes me trust him a lot as a
Netflix account is meant to be shared in one household, meaning people who live in one location. So
Oh
who can use your
no.
Netflix account? Anybody in your household. So anybody can use it, but to ensure that that person is there, the devices that you use, the device lock, will actually be required to connect to the same Wi-Fi at your location. Basically, you open the Netflix site there, watch something every 31 days, okay? Like some traditional draconian Xbox One level checking. So, what if you share your account with somebody who doesn't live with you? They're gonna have to buy their own Netflix account. And of course,
What?
subscriptions have been getting more expensive. And even with Netflix stuff, it's kind of debatable if the shit that they make is even worth paying for. Like, should you even
Absolutely.
bother getting a Netflix subscription? Because I haven't signed into mine for like months. I think my mom uses it to watch like a movie every now and again. And I think given the fact that that's me sharing the account, I'm not allowed to do that. So Netflix would probably terminate me, which again would be no skin off my back. Okay, I do not care. So of course it comes
I
down to
do
what if
not
somebody
care,
is
he
using
says.
your Netflix account outside? Their device could actually be blocked. So if you're blocked, you literally either have to sign up for a new account or you can request a temporary code, which will give you access to Netflix for like 7 days. So again, to understand, Netflix does allow you to watch your
What?
content from different locations. Again, if you're doing this for an extended period of
But
time,
you have to
they'll
get
probably tell
permission.
you, hey, confirm if that person is legitimately using your account. Are you sharing? No? Okay, good. Are you? Get out of here. Buy a new subscription. So again,
That's
it
wild.
really does exempt people who are traveling. Like I travel a fair bit, so if I'm going to connect my Netflix account, me and the wife are going to lose a Netflix service because we decided to watch it from a different part of the world. That would be dumb. Now, of course, Netflix is using your IP addresses, device IDs, and various account activity to discover how Netflix is being used. So I'm sure, obviously,
That's
the
weird.
identifiers is they want to make sure that you're connecting through the same IP address.
That
You're not
makes
changing
sense.
things around. That would be a dead giveaway. They want
Like,
to make sure that the devices that you are using to watch the content are using that or connected through that IP address, period. And of course, they're probably also going to look for location services if they have access to make sure that the account, the device, various devices aren't connecting from like the US, Chile, Taiwan, whatever, you name it. They want to make sure that it's in the same general location, okay? Otherwise, it would be a
Mhm.
severe no-no for Netflix. Now, this move really comes across as desperation for Netflix, especially when they've
Absolutely.
had other L's recently. If you
It
didn't
makes
know,
sense, but
Netflix
it
Japan
does come
recently
off as
made a
like
anime
scared.
movie called The Boy and His Dog or something like that,
Overkill.
where they actually used AI art in the backgrounds for this. And of course, they claim that it's because of a labor shortage in the industry. Well, Netflix, I think it's
What?
not so much a labor shortage as it is a fucking wage problem. If you watch anime or any
Yeah,
animated materials,
absolutely.
you probably know
They're
that the
not
people
willing
who
to pay him
produce the
fair enough.
content that you
They don't
love
pay
and
anyone
the
in
content
anime
that makes
enough,
billions of dollars a year, some of those
genuinely.
people make as little as $200 an actual month. In fact, some of the best earning
Wow. That's
animators, period, or
terrible.
animators in general, make like $1,000 to like $3,000, $4,000 a month, which again, given how things are rising in cost, is not enough. So again,
That's
for
not
animators
fair
in
to
the industry,
people
it's
who
either
are
do I
who are
produce more
creating such a
anime or do
huge
I eat
profit for these
and
companies.
provide for my family if I have one? Obviously, they're not going to go with the stress that comes with anime if they're not getting paid, if they're getting given like literal peanuts, crumbs, when the actual executives behind it are making billions of dollars and the companies who are leasing or like financing these animes are taking the lion's share without even paying a livable wage to the people that make it possible in the first place. It's a
Mhm.
truly wild industry to get into. And of course, for Netflix to even claim there's a labor shortage, while true, they haven't actually addressed that by using these AI art tools, which again, don't even create the best backgrounds in the first place. They're actually starving an artist out of any funds that they could have while using a very controversial tool that might already be breaking copyrights in what it generates. But again, that's just another Netflix common ill. And I think a lot of these moves that have been happening just scream desperation for the company. Like, is Netflix really
Mhm.
losing money? For a company whose business model was basically centered around throwing away, burning billions of dollars to make original programming, and then forgetting to realize that years down the road, there would be so much competition in the space that they would just be one other streaming service, is something nobody was prepared for, especially Netflix. So a lot of
Oh
these
yeah,
crackdowns that
Netflix
are
wasn't
happening
prepared,
also do
and
spell a lot of
their content's
inconvenience
gone
for
a lot
users.
downhill.
So if you ever actually remembered like the thing
A
with
lot
Steam,
downhill.
Russian gamers for a while used to be gamers that would be like the biggest pirators of PC games imaginable.
Hmm?
Like shit would just be like the seven seas out there. And until Steam came in and a lot of these digital distribution services that priced games accordingly.
Yeah, absolutely. Like before before Steam showed up, it was very much just find wherever you can get the game um for free, because it was either go to these companies' websites or find someone who can do it cheap. But now that it's all centralized, you can keep it and get it all in one place. Makes a lot less sense to pirate. Oh, so sorry.
And provided better distribution, piracy went down in the country because an actual usable alternative was made. The way you combat piracy, especially, is by providing a usable service. All right. Sometimes it's a lot easier to spend $1 than it is to deal with potential malware, to download files from some shady service, you name it. Now, of course, by
Mhm.
Netflix doing this, a lot of those households that share Netflix accounts, like, could you imagine being like a college student? You have the family Netflix account, you take your Xbox at home, go to your college dorm, and all of a sudden you have to keep going back and forth to sign into Netflix, or else you don't use that service at college. Dude, people are
That's
just going to cancel
bullshit.
their service. You
Yeah,
literally don't understand
no
how
one's gonna
easy it
use
is to access
or
your
Netflix
content for free on the
at that
internet
point.
through various sites, anyways. Again, it's only going to push people to cancel their subscription and then watch your original programming for free somewhere else.
Yeah,
Not that I condone it,
absolutely.
but generally, when you make things harder to access, people are going to turn to piracy anyways.
Yeah,
Piracy, in most cases, is usually a problem that comes with convenience, not necessarily users who just can't afford your content, period. If you reasonably price your content and distributed it very easily, a lot of people would just pay for it. But
absolutely.
Netflix is literally going out of their way to just bite the hand, absolutely go burn bridges, and cause people to just cancel their subs altogether.
I'm pretty sure like this was a discussion a couple months ago, and I feel like it's been going on for a while now. And I feel like Netflix is too scared to actually press the button on it, but they keep threatening it.
Because they can't share it between each other. Whatever side you stand on, it's just bad for Netflix. Ladies and gentlemen, maybe it's a desperate move, maybe something wild's going on, but honestly, I'm just here to watch the world burn. Ladies and gentlemen, I got some GTA 5 security patches to cover, and to be honest with you, I've got some checklists to look into. Checklists that may end up getting me disappeared. Ladies and gentlemen, this is me, Mutahar. If you
Disappeared.
like
Gurahar is incredible. He got such a interesting perspective on things. Such an incredibly smart guy. Go check him out. He's always super interesting to listen to. Um, but yeah, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys later.